These are their weights from lightest to heaviest. Let's talk about strategy based on my test results. The vital thing here is to arrange them in such a way that will cover each other's weaknesses. If we were to compare them to the 95-96 Chicago Bulls team, Judgment Diabolos is Dennis Rodman, Master Spriggan is Michael Jordan, Imperial Dragon is Ron Harper, Perfect Phoenix is Scottie Pippen, and Brave Hyperion is Luke Longley. Papabey calls this strategy Blitzkrieg, which is a term used to describe a method of offensive warfare designed to strike a swift, focused blow at an enemy using mobile maneuverable forces, including armored tanks and air support. Such an attack ideally leads to a quick victory, limiting the loss of soldiers and artillery. Place Judgment Dennis Sting Extreme Dash in the first slot. He's the team's bad boy and pure attacker. When on a flower pattern movement, he gets a lot of rebounds to continuously attack until he gets tired. Due to its layer shape combined with the rubber of Extreme Dash, it runs out of steam fairly quickly. However, it can knock out or even burst any of the other four regardless of spin direction. If it doesn't, then it would most likely get outspun by them. If you do knock out or burst your opponent, you get 2 points and your opponent is immediately on the ropes. Your chances of getting knocked out yourself is lesser because on a flower pattern movement, your combo will have inertia on its side because it's moving forward. In addition, it will grip the stadium floor, complements of Extreme Dash's rubber tip. Therefore, you're most likely to lose only by a spin finish, which would then make you just down by 1 point. Next up, from North Carolina, wearing number 23, Master Jordan Hybrid. Think of him as your insurance if Dennis screws up. Put him in the second slot because he can adapt to any situation. He can either outspin or out-LAD any of the four. Furthermore, by virtue of Hybrid's plastic pointed tip, he isn't as vulnerable to anti-tornado stallers, but is kinda susceptible to knockouts. You can argue, if he's such a GOAT, why not put him in the first slot and put Judgment Diabolos in the second slot instead? Because if the GOAT gets knocked out, you will be the one on the ropes. Then, there will be tremendous pressure on you to get back the 2 points, and you do not want that. Anyhow, if you're down by either 1 or 2 points, you'll have a good chance to win back this round by picking the right mode based on what your opponent has. He's not called the GOAT for nothing. In fact, even if he has the flu, he will still beat you by... For the third slot, use Brave Blue X10 plus 2A in 3-blade mode. This one's a tank that is a pretty good stationary attacker. However, he can be outspun by Perfect Phoenix and Master Spriggan. Being a heavyweight and having rubber contact points, it's a bit better in resisting knockouts even on a plastic pointed tip driver in Extend Plus. Due to 2A being a double chassis, its burst risk is significantly minimized. Let's say the score is now 2-1 in favor of your opponent. This will give you a chance to knock out your opponent and win the game, or just outspin it, which will make it 2 points apiece. In this scenario, it's a calculated choice because being a stationary attacker means you'll have a chance to win the match with a knockout compared to a more likely spin finish using Perfect Finish. Now put Perfect Pipin Ignition Dash in the 4th slot. He's top tier in same spin and opposite spin battles and can only be outspun by Master Spriggan with hybrid turned on. Furthermore, by virtue of Ignition Dash's plastic flat tip, he isn't as susceptible to knockouts but is kind of vulnerable to anti-tornado stallers. This is because when launched hard at the start of the battle, it will ride the tornado ridge for a while before settling at the center. Lastly, the spring strength of Ignition Dash is slightly weak for a dash driver, so there's still a burst risk to think about. But at this point of the match, putting him here can be considered unfair. So assuming you won by outspin in round 3 to make the score 2-all, you'll now have an excellent chance to outspin your opponent for the win. Last but not the least, place Imperial Harper 00 Expand Destroy Dash in the 5th slot. Although he can be outspun by everyone save for Judgment Diabolos, most top tier combos would have already been used at this point of the match. Therefore, this makes him quite a handful in round 5. He's not the 6th man of the year, or 5th man of the year rather, for nothing. To conclude, just to remind you again that as per the WBBA 5G rules, knockouts are worth 2 points, the same as a burst finish. This is why this Papabey certified 5G deck has 3 attack types, 1 pure attacker, 1 mobile attacker, and 1 stationary attacker with 1 defense stamina hybrid and another one but on steroids. Speaking of stamina, don't forget to balance tune them before the battle. Anyhow, it's quite a formidable deck even if you ask your neighbor. Though there is this one small thing from the Yuki channel, Imperial Dragon Wheel Exceed is such an interesting and exciting combo, and it was very, very close to getting the 1st slot. That would make Judgment Diabolos 00 Expand Destroy Dash move to the 5th slot, but let's cross that bridge on another day. From the United Center, this is Papabey signing off. See you again next time. Same Papabey time, same Papabey channel.